Shalom Makim, this the brother Karataza. Got the brothers down here, brother Hamiyam, the brother Kayal, the brother Tamarak. So we're gonna do a sit down today, We're gonna do a sit down on this whole issue of shaving, man. And if it's unlawful or lawful to shave. This video is gonna be the first of many videos. We're gonna do a series on this to thoroughly get to the bottom of this topic and this issue. First thing we want to do before we do anything is say, call Allah Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah.
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 Word. All praise to the Most High in the name of His Son. So first scripture we're going to read, as you can see, is about the prophet Ezekiel. All right? This is Ezekiel chapter 5, verse 1. It says, "And thou, son of man, take thee a sharp knife, take thee a barber's razor, and cause it to pass upon thine head and upon thine beard. Then take thee balances to weigh and divide the hair." Now, as you can see right here, the Most High is telling Ezekiel to get a barber's razor. Not just any razor, a barber's razor. All right? Can you look that in the Hebrew?
Yeah. 1532.
And not only is he telling him to get a barber's razor, he's telling him to cause the razor to pass on his head and on his beard.
You want the razor?
Yeah, razor. What is it in Hebrew?
You have to probably bring that phone close so they can hear me.
Just say it loud, man. I hear you.
It says,
To otter?
to add, up to hard.
Tahar?
Yeah. To R.
Let me see it. To ear. That's Ta, I, and R. Ra. It's Ta, otter.
Okay. And it means a sheath, razor, penknife, scabbard, or a razor sheath, making naked, razor sheath of sword. And I guess that means the edge, sheath.
It's a razor, man. Right? And the word barber right there is galab in the Hebrew. So now this lets you know that they had barbers in the land, and that they had razors in the land, and they had barbers' razors in the land. Okay? Like I said, it says that the Most High told Ezekiel to cause it to pass upon his head and upon his beard. And then he was instructed to take the balances and weigh and divide the hair. Some of it is going to go to the wind, and some of it is going to burn in the fire. When you read later on, when you read down the line, it was basically an example of what was going to happen to Israel. Now, when you go to Sirach 15 and 20, it says he had command. You got Sirach? Oh.
Sirach 15:20, right?
Yeah, if you want to read it, I can read it right here.
Let me get it.
Yeah.
Sirach chapter 15, verse 20. He hath commanded no man to do wickedly, neither have he given any man license to sin.
Right, so the Most High told Ezekiel to shave his head and his beard. If shaving is against the law, right, just outright just shaving for any reason at all, if it's against the law, then you're saying that the Most High told Ezekiel in Israel to sin. And that is so that it was okay that he was okay with Joseph and Job committing sins by shaving, man. We know the Most High doesn't tell people to sin or give them permission to sin anywhere in the scriptures. That's the reason for Sirach chapter 15, verse 20. So you have to ask yourself with Ezekiel chapter 5 and 1, why would the Most High be telling him to shave if it's a sin? All right, the next one is we're gonna go to the patriarch Joseph with Genesis chapter 41, verse 14. It says, or if one of y'all want to get it, I don't know if y'all want to read these scriptures. And then Genesis chapter 39, verse 6.
41 and what?
14.
You can read it.
Genesis 49 and 4. I'm sorry, 41. 41 and 14.
41 and 14.
Genesis 39 and 6.
41:14.
41, 14.
This is Genesis chapter 41, verse 14. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon. And he shaved himself and changed his raiment and came in unto Pharaoh.
Now we see Joseph. Joseph is shaving himself, and then he's going to the Pharaoh after he gets out of the dungeon. Go to Genesis 39 and 6, and then also read 9.
This is Genesis chapter 39, verse 6. And he left all that he had in Joseph's hand, and he knew not aught he had, save the bread which he did eat. And Joseph was a goodly person and well favored.
It says Joseph was a goodly person and well favored. Meaning what? Joseph was a good person. Now read verse 9.
Verse 9. There is none greater in this house than I, neither hath he kept back anything from me but thee, because thou art his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness?
Now stop. It says, how then can I do this great wickedness? Now when you read the story, Joseph was Joseph's master, his master's wife wanted him to sleep with wanted Joseph to sleep with her. Joseph wouldn't do it, so she said she would tell her husband, and she tore a piece of Joseph's clothes and tried to tell her husband that that he tried to pounce on her or whatever. But Joseph is saying that he wouldn't do such a wicked thing. Keep reading on.
How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against the Most High?
Now Joseph is saying that was wicked and that he wouldn't sin against the Most High. So why then, and it says that he's a goodly person. So then why then would he shave himself? And if you notice, it doesn't say that he did it forcefully. He did it willingly. It don't say the Pharaoh commanded him to be shaved and he had to be shaved. Joseph did this shit willingly on his own accord because he was promoted. When you read the scripture, he was promoted to be the second under the Pharaoh. What you was about to say, Kyle?
No, I was just saying when you said why would he wouldn't shave himself if he just said he wouldn't commit that sin of adultery and that he's a goodly man. Why would he shave himself if it was a sin? That's what I was saying. Basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If he's not going to commit adultery because he said it's wicked, it's a great wickedness and a sin against the Most High, why would he shave? Okay. And notice that in this scripture, when you read that story about Joseph, Joseph was never called wicked. He was called the opposite of wicked. He was called righteous. But the Most High never rebuked Joseph or called him wicked. His brothers, when they came to see him, didn't call him wicked or rebuke him. And he was fully shaved. So next we're going to go to Job. That's the next one. So Job chapter 1 verse 20 all the way to 22.
This is Job chapter 1 verse 20. Then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground.
So it said that Job arose, rent his mantle, and shaved his head. Now, why would Job be shaving his head? If it's wicked, why would Job be shaving? Go ahead, Doc.
Then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshipped and said,
Hold on. Damn, what the hell? You play this up over? Right? Hold on.
I got that
All right, my bad. All right, start over again.
this is Job chapter 1 verse 20. Then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshipped.
Not Job. Like if shaving was against the law, this would be the ultimate form of disrespect to the Most High. That you would break his law by shaving your head and then worship him right after you do it. The Most High would surely have to just kill your ass right then and there. If it was wicked, that would be the ultimate form of disrespect for Job to do. To just sin and then worship the Most High right after you just sinned. But what happens? Keep going.
And said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. In all this Job sinned not, nor charged the Most High foolishly.
It says that Job shaved his head. He fell down to the ground and worshiped the Most High. And then it says, in all of this, Job sinned not. So then, if Job shaved his head, why is it not called this? Why is it saying that he didn't sin? Nor did he charge the Most High foolishly. This has to make you think like, yo, we missing something here. It's literally telling you that all his actions, of which one was shaving, was not a sin. Somebody get numbers 8 and 5.
I'm on deck.
And then 6 and then 7.
This is Numbers chapter 8, verse 5. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, take the Levites from among the children of Israel, and cleanse them. And thus shalt thou do unto them, to cleanse them, sprinkle water of purifying upon them, and let them shave all their flesh, and let them wash their clothes, and so make themselves clean.
Now you got the Most High telling the Levites to shave not just their head, not just their armpits, but all of their flesh. That means the beard, the head, the mustache, the armpits, the eyebrows. That's everything. That they cutting into their skin. They breaking that flesh. They destroying their edges. All of that.
As they say.
Yeah. They doing all of that. And it's not counted as a sin. It's actually counted as purification.
That's crazy.
That's crazy as hell.
That's like the vow of Nazareth.
Right.
This just for it's a whole bunch more. This just 4 main points. But the thing is, so let's go through it. You got Ezekiel. The Most High tells Ezekiel to his face, get a barber's razor, shave your head, shave your beard. We know the Most High don't tell people to sin. It tells you that in Sirach 15 and 20. We know he's not going to give you permission. It says that he gave no man license to sin, meaning you don't get permission to sin from him. So obviously that's one thing to tell you that if the Most High tell you to do it, it ain't a sin. Then we got Joseph shaving himself willingly. And he's being called a goodly person. He's saying he's not going to do something that's wicked or sinful to the Most High. But yet and still he shaved himself. Then you got Job falling down and worshiping the Most High after he just shaved his head. And it says, in all this, Job did not sin. And then last but not least, you got the damn Levites that's separated to the Most High, which is commanded for them. Now, if you want to say somebody ain't supposed to shave, it's the Levites. Later on, it's commanded to them after this purification process that they are not to shave. But yet and still, right here, the Most High tells them for purification that they are to shave all of their flesh. It says, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, let them shave all their flesh. The Most High is telling Moses to tell the Levites to shave all of their flesh. That tells you that it's not a sin. To just shave, to shave your face or your head or whatever it is you're going to shave. It's not a sin. Matter of fact, just get Leviticus 19 real quick. Just end it off on that. We tell you why, we're going to tell you what type of shaving is against the law. All right.
This is Leviticus chapter 19, verse 27. Ye shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard. Now,
some people will stop right there. You're not supposed to stop right there. Before this Bible was written, before the Bible was written, you had the Tanakh. All right? The Tanakh didn't have numbers in it, man. Keep going, though.
Verse 28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead.
And when you say numbers, you mean like the verses, what number?
The verses wasn't numbered.
Just making sure, because some people think you were saying
Does it say end or just say?
chapter.
Where? In 28?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, start at 27 again.
Leviticus 19 and 27. Ye shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord.
Right, so we just read to you about people shaving and the Most High commanding them to shave in the scriptures. That should let you know that verse 27 and verse 28 go together and that the subject of it is shaving for the dead. Or cutting your flesh for the dead. Go ahead.
If I can say this, because what they say is when you get in a lineup, you're cutting your flesh. So if you're going to put those two into the same boat, then when it says you should not cut your flesh for the dead, then you have to also include that into what y'all call a lineup. Okay? Because that's what y'all said. You said you're sinning because you're getting a lineup, you're cutting into your flesh when you get a lineup, this and that. So if you're going to bundle all that together, how can you separate that when it comes down to the scriptures, man?
Right.
Okay?
And it's not talking about a tattoo either, unless you're getting it for the dead. Any kind of cutting in your flesh, that's for the dead. That's what it's talking about. Mm-hmm. Any type of cutting your hair for the dead is what it's talking about. What we're gonna have other videos, but when you go into the culture of the people of the day, especially all the nations, they all had beards. Okay, so it's not a cultural thing either. It's not a thing of it distinguish you from the other nations. No, because all the other nations had beards. But whenever people died in the other nations, they would cut their beards and they would cut their hair, their heads. All right, and they would do this for their dead, but they would also do this for their gods. And a lot of times, their dead will become gods. So this is why the Most High commanded us not to do that, because because of the first commandment. It says what? It says you should. Matter of fact, get Exodus 20 and 1. Yeah, get Exodus 20 real quick, and then we'll wrap it up with that.
This is Exodus chapter 20, verse 1. And the Most High spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy power, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy power in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taken his name in vain.
Go back to Exodus, Leviticus 19 again. Now notice it said, "For I'm the Lord your God. You shall not take my name to vanity, or you shall not carry the Most High name and making it empty, or making it not glorious." But did it say, "I'm the Lord your God"?
Right.
In 19, Leviticus 19.
I am the Lord.
Read that one more time, yeah, because that's the point. That's why it says, "I'm the Lord," because he doesn't want you worshiping other gods.
Right.
But go ahead.
This is Leviticus chapter 19, verse 28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord.
Right. And that's why verse 27 and 28 go together, but that's why it says, "For I am the Lord." It just said, "I'm the Lord your God." I just said, I'm the
Lord.
That's why it says, "I am the Lord." But that goes back to the first commandment. All right, with the Most High being our God, and He says, I'm the Lord," because we're in covenant with Him. Right. So.
And if I can say this, and we not telling brothers just you go out and get your line up. If you don't want to, man, you can grow your beard until it hit your knees. You know what I'm saying? But then it's a shame for a man to have long hair, so you gotta get it cut some kind of way or whatnot. But we're just saying, don't tell brothers that they're
Being
sinning.
sarcastic too.
Yeah. Say it again.
He being sarcastic.
Don't tell brothers that they're sinning, man, because they come up with a lineup or they come up with a head that's shaved. Okay, you can't condemn brothers for that because that's not a sin unless they did it for the dead. If you ask them why you shave your head, and he say, "Oh, my grandmother just died," and then you can say that. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, it ain't about if brothers want to get lineups or brothers want to look pretty for women or whatever, because you don't have to have a lineup to get a woman. You don't have to have none of that shit. You just gotta have a good mouthpiece, and that's it. So it ain't for that. It's for truth's sake. It's because brothers are condemning men or other brothers because a brother got a lineup or he don't have a beard on his face or he can't grow a beard. It's not that doesn't distinguish if you're righteous or not. All right, the law doesn't have anything to do with getting a lineup or shaving your beard just for any old reason. Now, if it's for the dead, that's something different. That's what it's about. It's about learning these scriptures and bringing out the truth rather than a tradition because we want to hold it as a tradition.
Yeah, you really think the Most High give a rat's ass?
Most High don't care about how you
mirror,
look, man. Can you get that one more? The one about David. The Most High look on the hearts of men. When he came in and seen David, Samuel, I think. Yeah, he don't look on the appearance of men.